Hello, my name is Julian Keats. I'm an addiction medicine specialist. This is the second part in a multi-part series on understanding the human conscious psyche, so please see my previous video for some background. Okay, now previously we've spoken about how people are like icebergs, and we drew this diagram, and we discussed how there's a small part of the iceberg that's visible above the surface to everybody that interacts with the environment, and that's our actions and behaviours. Then just below the surface, sometimes visible to others, but sometimes not, more accessible to us, are our cognitions and thoughts, and our feelings or emotions. Now, they can often be in conflict, and they're not necessarily true or correct. Okay? We'll talk about that later. They're experiences we have, but both our thoughts and our feelings influence our behaviours. So today we're going to expand on that area a little bit. So we've got that part of the triangle drawn here. You can see at the top we've got actions or behaviours. Down here we've got, just below the surface, cognitions and emotions. Okay. Now we call that triad the cognitive, behavioural, emotional triad, but that gets a bit clumsy, so we're going to call it short the cognitive behavioural triad. And I'm just going to discuss how that interacts. So we'll take a simple example, and we'll say that you've walked to the top of a tall building or a high cliff. So your behaviour is that you're standing at a cliff edge. And because you're standing at a cliff edge, that behaviour might influence your thoughts and make you think that you're going to fall. Okay? So you're standing on the cliff edge makes you think you're going to fall, and that in turn can influence your emotions by making you feel scared, can't it? And if you feel scared, that can influence your behaviour. So if you feel scared, that might make you, say, move away from the cliff edge. Now, by the same token, when you move away from the cliff edge, that behaviour can make you feel less scared. So your behaviour can influence your feelings. Similarly, moving away from the cliff edge might make you think that you're safer, so it can influence your thoughts. No, hang on, we've got it on in that direction, sorry. Okay, we go back to, so feeling safer because you've moved away from the cliff edge can influence your thoughts. Because you feel safer, you think you're less at risk. And so your feelings can influence your thoughts. Okay? Similarly, if you think that you're at risk, then you might move away from the cliff edge. So your thoughts can influence your behaviours. Thinking you might fall might cause you to move away. Your thoughts influence your behaviours. Your cognitions influence your behaviours. So what we end up with is a triangle with arrows pointing both directions on each side. So all three of these parts of the triangle influence each other. That's what we call the cognitive behavioural triangle. Now, cognitive behavioural triad. And it's this that forms the underlying basis of cognitive behavioural therapy. Because you see, for most people, it's pretty hard to get in and change your feelings or emotions. If you're scared of spiders, you're scared of spiders. It's hard to just not feel scared of spiders. But it's a little bit easier to change your behaviours and your thoughts. And using this principle of the cognitive behavioural triad, changing your thoughts or your behaviours can change your feelings. So for instance, changing your behaviours, gradual exposure therapy, in the case of spiders, might change your feeling of scaredness. Or changing your thoughts, learning that the spider is not venomous, or learning that it's not a real spider, it's a computer-generated special effect or something, might make you feel less scared. Because your thoughts and your behaviours are a bit more accessible, the therapy based on trying to change this triangle or trying to influence this triangle is called cognitive behavioural therapy. but it is also aimed at changing your feelings. And in that way, cognitive behavioural therapy helps with the unpleasant or unhelpful thoughts or feelings or behaviours that are a big part of people's common dysphoric experience of the human psyche.